Good morning, chat. Good morning, Chaos. Good morning, Mayo. Good morning, Sewell. Morning, Yuki. How's everybody doing? Good insert time of day. Print string. Sweet. I hope you're all doing well. I'm doing alright. Not too bad. Been a rough couple weeks, you know, but I'm doing better. So. What's up, Talib? Not sure how to say that. Hello. Yeah, I'm alright. I'm alright, Yuki. Thanks. Good morning, chat. Good day, evening, night, chat. Hello. Yeah, let's switch over to Blender here. Blender. Alright. So, because of the recent chaos, I have been a little bit remiss in my duties of polishing off these assets. But I'm going to take Nathan's with a B. Talib. With a B. Talib. Okay, I just hope I'm pronouncing that even remotely correctly. I'm doing my best. No longer supporting Godot or Rito, dumb drama, and political BS. The indie community is doomed. Yeah, I saw something about that. I don't know. I'm just gonna stick with Blender and Unreal. Thanks. Hello, Cack Rally. What's up? Is it that hard? No, it's just that it could be Talib. I mean, there's a lot of different ways you could say that. And I'm just trying to make sure I'm doing it correctly. So that I can say your name right. That's all. I just want to make sure I'm doing it right. We'll use Armory 3D or upgrade or use their game engine made in Blender. Did Armory 3D make a game engine in Blender? That's bonkers. Armory 3D is the like self-compilable painting, layer painting thing, isn't it? First one you said, Talib. Okay. All right, I got it. Thank you. So I'm taking Nathan's advice, and now I'm just making greeblies, or greebles, whichever you want to call them. If you don't know what greebles are, basically they're just random things that physical model makers use for model kits to dot around an environment or a prop to give it more character, just a little more visual interest. So that's basically what I'm going to be doing to flesh out this last booster pack. And it's going to be just a lot of basically random kind of shapes that you can shrink down or stretch or do whatever with. And, oops, let's do this first. There we go. That you can manipulate all over your environment to get some sort of an effect. Just going to go here, Alt-X. Oopsies. On a Shift-D X, there we go. You know what, I'm actually going to mirror that. It doesn't make sense to not mirror it. So yeah, greeblies are just, they're just bits that you can smush onto things. Let's just apply that, doesn't really matter. Let's go here, Shift-A Mesh, Cylinder. Gonna turn this down to 16. Scale it down to about maybe that diameter. Or Y90. And we're gonna scale it in the X. Just gonna make some like crossbars here. Alt D Y and Shift R to duplicate that. And let's get maybe just a little bit more visual interest on these boxes. So, all transforms origin to geometry because I want this to apply evenly. I'm gonna bevel it just a bit. And then these can move down. GZ to move them down. And there we go. We can Control J this. Now another thing I'm going to do before I forget, because I will forget, is just going to make sure this is positioned in a reasonable spot. Greeblies, you're going to be moving around a whole bunch, so it really, I'm not going to remove too many of the faces for optimization, because it's just an extra 2 faces here, and you maybe use just a couple of these. And you might not necessarily stick it against a wall. So these ones, you're probably going to stick against a wall, so I have taken out that last face. But this one, let's just go, I'm going to make sure my cursor is at the world origin, so I'm going to hit Shift S and go to cursor to world origin. Then I'm going to use my quick menu, or quick favorites, to select origin to 3D cursor. So now this thing's origin is at the center of the world. Cursor to world origin, I'm going to set that there, and I'm going to do the same thing, origin to 3D cursor. Same thing, same thing. Let's hide these. Just make sure we're in a reasonable spot here. Good. And then this one needs to come up. No, origin to 3D cursor. Okay. Those 4 greeblies are done, which is great. Not sure where the other ones went. Alright. I would definitely use CryEngine or even FlaxEngine for the 3D games. For 2D, we'll give a shoot to default. Where did those last ones go? I did name them, so where are they? Oh, these are in floors. Okay. You need to move to that folder. So do you. Yep. Alright, so those. Just keep fat fingering the wrong button. Okay, so the last one I probably didn't rename, did I? Crap. I gotta organize this file better, chat. Or better yet, I'm gonna start another one for the weekly assets. Let's see. I probably wanted the floors, didn't it? Is this it? Yep. There we go. 2 greebly. Greebly 4. And move that. Yeah. Okay, we did it. We finally did it. Alright, sweet. Have some coffee, chat. Alright, more greeblies. More. So we got over there. Up there. Back there. I feel like we might benefit from something a little, just slightly more complex. My fingers, chat, are like, have a mind of their own today. They are not being cooperative by any stretch of the imagination. Not at all. Alright, I think in this case we're going to use a cylinder, but because I'm going to buoy in the cylinder, I'm going to make it really, really low. Really, really low poly. Because it's easier to fix shading errors when you're dealing with, actually I think we'd probably make that like at least 12. Let's make it a 12-sided. As long as it's divisible by 2. And then what I want to do is, I'm going to scooch this over here. Scooch it up. I'm going to scale everywhere except the Z-axis. I'm going to go here. Set a modifier, mirror, set the mirror object to the mirror empty. Then we're gonna mirror it across the X and the Y. Heartburn. Alright. Actually, I'm just gonna move this in a smidge. Something like that. And then before I do that, I'm gonna go here, all transforms, origin to geometry, and then I'm just gonna bevel this top face. Just a bit. We'll grab this, scooch it in a little bit more again. I think I might want to scale this up. This might actually lead to some challenging shading issues, but I think it's what I want to do anyway. Something like that. Ayo, just jumping in to say thank you for the YouTube Paint tutorial you did. Painted my very first thing yesterday. Free of too much suffering thanks to you. Aw, that's awesome. Thank you, Vela. It's my pleasure to make the tutorial, and yeah, YouTube Paint is amazing. And also, thank you to YouTube Umar for making that add-on and making it free, like the absolute legend that he is. But as for my part in that, you're very welcome. I'm happy it was helpful. That's awesome. All transforms origin to geometry. Okay, same thing here. We're going to convert this to a mesh. All transforms origin to geometry. I'm going to add a boolean, and I'm going to cut these out of it. I'm going to apply that. I'm going to move this to weekly boost. Cancel. Move this to weekly booster assets, and this just so I don't get lost. Actually, what I should do probably is just create a new scene, a new view layer, copy settings. There we go. And then I just stay here and make sure everything else is off. I could also make a new scene and import just these assets, but I'll probably just make a new file for the next set of assets, because I'm going to be switching my technique, which is relevant for the next video I'll be releasing, chat, because I put out a poll to see what people wanted to see for the next video, and out of like almost 200 votes, nearly half of them were how to quickly model and texture low poly assets. So I have been practicing a technique I found. It's similar to the one I showed you guys many streams ago, where you can use the you can use that gradient to get basically fake lighting on your assets, right? Except this one has a proper technique for how to go about it from beginning to end, and it's like where I was doing it kind of optimally, this method is super optimized. So I'll show you kind of a test of what that looks like. So here is an example of this method I'm going to be covering in the next video I'm making. And I will I'll credit the person because they wrote a paper about this, I guess for school. But there's like very little of this is from the from the actual render. So if I go to diffuse color, you'll see most of that information is still there. Hello Berloga, thank you for the follow. The subscription. But yeah, so as you can see, this is right now on the render mode. We're just on diffuse color. There's no lighting information here at all. So all of this light is being simulated, all the highlights, everything is being simulated by a gradient texture. So if I go to UVs and I hide everything, you can see this is the gradient texture that's being used. This is the other model. I'll go here, Alt H. Okay. So there you go. So for this model, these are the gradient textures that's being used. If we go to this model, we can actually switch it to the other one. This one here. So each of these, so the texture I've been using for the, it's so useful. It's insane. I'm really excited about this video because it's ultra optimized. And there's actually a way to get it down to like, I don't even remember what the number was. It was like 120 by 7 pixels. So basically the thrust of the article this person wrote, I think it was for their like game degree, said, actually, let me see if I can find the name of the person because it's worth mentioning. I'm gonna call them out. I'll shout them out in the I'll shout them out in the video for sure because this is such a great technique. Vicente Mascardo Ribes, or at Senior Jueves 3D, wrote this paper that explains this process. And I'm super stoked about it because these are 128 by 128. Yuki, I always learn new stuff with you. Thank you very much. My pleasure. I'm always trying to learn new stuff and then share it with people. It's the best. So this is 128 by 128, chat. 128. That's it. The examples that Vicente gives are 64 by 64. The trick is to export this without compression. That's it. You don't compress it when you export it out. It's insane. I'm very excited about it. So these were just some test models to see if I could get the process to work and how it works. But effectively what you do, I'll just give you a little preview of the technique. What you would do is, let's say I grab this guy and I duplicate it over, okay? I'll isolate that and then I'll go into UV editing. Just grab this guy and isolate it. Hide. Okay, let's go to the left here. So what you'll do is you'll go into edit mode, you'll select all of your UVs, and you'll hit U and project from view. And because the view now is oriented in the same way from top to bottom, it looks like light is coming from this direction, right? So what you can do then is you can grab the pieces that you need. Let's link by material here. Okay, and then move them to whatever color you want. And then scale them on the Y so that they get a gradient effect. You can see that this one here now has fake lighting. It is a little tedious because if you want to do the edge highlighting, you can go in here and manually adjust these to be super bright. But this process is absolutely bonkers in terms of how optimized it is. Alright. What happened here? What did I shut off? Everything? Yeah. So that's super cool. Do I use pad for Blender or mouse? I'm using a mouse right now. It depends if I'm painting. I do have a tablet. If I'm painting something or sculpting, I'll be using my tablet. But generally for most tasks, I use my mouse. Because I do a lot of ArcViz and stuff like that. But anyway, this is the next video. This is the kind of setup for it and learning the process correctly so that I can teach it to other people. So stay tuned for that because it's gonna be insane. I'm very excited about it. I don't want to save those changes. Nope. Alright, back to greeblies. Yeah, that part's that's gonna be awesome. Alright, let's see. If I hide these, I should have these booleaned out now. This is fine. I am going to see if I can merge any by distance. I cannot. I think I might slide those up. Thanks. Yeah, I think the hardest part of that entire process actually is getting your gradients right. And I'll cover how to do that in the video because I'm pretty sure I'll do it through Krita because Krita's free and everybody has access to it. But I'm pretty sure that you can control your gradient like strips in Krita as well. So that should be pretty good. Let's just go here. I'm gonna use the knife tool. I don't want to bisect, I want the knife tool. There we go. Just do this. Actually, let's just use K because K will be temporary, which is nice. Okay, here to here. Right click, and then I can go here. K, click, right click, And then K here, here, right click, and then if I hit space, it'll apply all of those cuts. Now, actually, it's created some unnecessary geometry. So, these ones here aren't aligned, so maybe what I'll do is I will grab these. I'm just gonna see if I can edge slide this. Auto merge vertices is on up here. I'm gonna see if that breaks the shape too much. I don't think it does. I'm just gonna edge slide GG all of these vertices, these single extra vertices. This is why I went with a really low poly boolean, because you can actually slide these together very easily and it'll fix any shading errors. It does not take long to clean up, and then I don't just have extra vertices floating around. This to like 45. That breaks 40. Like 40 looks great. Okay, so let's apply that. Okay, from the front view, let's just scooch it up a little bit. I'm gonna leave that as its own greebly. I'm also going to turn these cylinders back on. I'm gonna grab them in Alt-S just to scale them down. And then I'm going to make that a separate greebly. If I just isolate these, I just want to grab these faces because they are not necessary. This would be greebly 5. Oops, wrong button. Greebly 5. I'm gonna shift D that off to there. Let's actually call this one greebly 6. And I can set that one back to being greebly 5. Save. Hello, stumbled on your channel for YouTube Paint and I honestly really enjoy your content. You are new to Blender. Thanks, Jad. Welcome. And also welcome to Blender. Blender is awesome. We love Blender here. Alright, let's see. I'm gonna grab all of these top faces. So I want to scale this down. So I'm just gonna hit G then Z. Scale it in a little bit. How does that look? I'm going to re-mirror this. So I'm gonna hit Alt Z to get X-ray mode. I'm gonna make sure I'm on face select mode and I can delete all of those faces. This way I can just move this around freely. So I'm gonna add my mirror modifier again. I'm gonna do this around the mirror empty. And grab this, and now I can just position it freely so that it looks a little bit better. Okay, and let's apply that. So go to mesh. We're gonna join these together. I'm gonna go to the bottom of this. I'm gonna take this face off. I'm gonna do the same on the other greebly. I think I'll probably do the same with this one actually, because I don't know when you would not have that face outward. So they have been optimized in terms of invisible faces now. So this one I'm going to all transforms, origin to geometry. I could just do origin to 3D cursor, which would actually make a lot more sense. I'll do this one. It's selection of cursor. It's going to put it right back in the center. I'm going to move it up and origin to 3D cursor. Now each of these should have their origin at the 3D cursor if I send them back here. So selection of cursor, selection of cursor. All I'm doing is clicking it. I'm hitting Shift S and then dragging up to selection of cursor. And that'll move my object to this 3D cursor here. Just makes it really, really quick. And now all of them, I shouldn't see any origins that are outside of that area. They should all be there. So if I grab all of them, in fact, if I turn X-ray on and I grab them all, I go origin to 3D cursor, none of them will move, and that's very good. We all want them at the origin of the world so that when we bring them into an engine, it knows where to, we know exactly where it is. It'll come in right where we put it. It won't be offset in any direction, basically. Ugh. Coffee good. Alright. So another thing that I learned studying that other low poly modeling, like shading technique, is that a lot of the time for optimization, the thing that really messes things up is textures. So like textures end up being like high quality textures, or big texture images end up being worse for draw calls, like worse for your memory and your performance than just a couple of extra pieces of geometry. So by being able to reduce the texture size down to like 64 by 64 pixels and still get that level of detail, particularly for mobile, but even if you just want like a super light performant kind of PC game, or like template you're blocking out as you're trying to learn game dev, it's an insane technique. I love it. It was such a great find, considering I was already doing that kind of texturing already. But to get like a professional, basically a professional, at least a student's thesis on the subject, was extremely handy. Are you gonna upload what you were doing on YouTube? This, like this stream will be on YouTube. All of my streams go on YouTube. They'll be there. And then when I'm in the process of recording footage for the tutorial on the low poly like gradient shading. Excuse me, and that will definitely go up on YouTube. That's my next video. Yeah. Should be good. Okay, let's see. More greeblies. Let's scooch this one over here. And I will give all of these a basic texture. I'll put them on the atlas, but they're probably going to be really pretty close to the color they are now. Maybe this slight gray, like maybe a 10-15% gray. Yeah, of course, chat, of course. I actually I really like making tutorials. I don't know why. I find it incredibly satisfying when someone tells me that it really helped them, because I think that creative endeavors are just one of the most awesome things, and if I can help somebody move along in their creative journey, and especially when you're learning Blender, like Blender has a very low barrier to entry, right? It's free. All you need is a computer. You don't even need a particularly good computer. And in terms of like the 3D modeling generalist software, DCC, that's pretty amazing. The cost comes at the learning curve. And all software, all 3D software has a learning curve, right? But Blender's is like this. This is a regular one. It's fairly linear. Blender's kind of like this. Actually, that's not true. Blender's kind of like that. Something like that, anyway. This is your kind of mainstream DCC, and this is Blender's learning curve. It's a lot up front. But the good thing about Blender, too, is the only thing that's different between Blender and any other 3D kind of content package is that it's just going to be how you get to tools and use them. It's not the principles of 3D. Like, the principles of 3D are all the same. Like geometry, extruding, you know, merging vertices, mirroring things, all of the basic kind of fundamentals. Shading, it's all handled roughly the same way. All right, let's see. It's true, you struggle with the learning, but it's good to have references to learn. 100%. I like Blender's UI a ton more than the others. Me too, actually. I remember when I was learning ZBrush, first learning ZBrush, I had the same complaint as everybody, that like it has an atrocious upfront UI. But once you get used to it, it makes a lot of sense for that program. It's not actually that bad. I mean, it's not great either, but it's not that bad. It's interesting, I found actually making stuff well way harder than learning how the tools work. Oh, that is 100% true. This is why This is why you'll always hear, or you'll often hear anyway, people who are making tutorials will tell you stop watching the tutorial, or follow along with the tutorial at the very least, and like, or watch this tutorial, then go do it. Like, you have to do it. You have to actually be in the software, fiddling around, testing things out, because you can watch as many tutorials as you like. The actual doing it is what's going to make it stick in your head. Like, tutorials are good for that first initial learning phase, and for like exposing you to new kind of workflows and tools you can use that you may not have known about before. That's one of the reasons I love it, is because for someone, maybe my tutorial would be a light bulb moment. They'll be like, oh, I finally know how to do that thing that I've been meaning to do or learn how to do forever, and I didn't even know Blender could do it. But it is for sure the doing it that's hard. No question about that. Even if you're very, very comfortable with the tools, the doing it is... There's always going to be problems you need to encounter, or you'll encounter that you need to overcome. There we go, let's apply that. Excuse me. What do we think for the next greeble? My brain is just going through permutations of shapes, chat. Hold on a second. I don't know why that one very, very quiet version of Blue Moss is in there. I'm gonna have to fix that. Just take it out of my playlist here. Let's do that. Where's Even Eyes? Stream radio. Audio extracted. Why are you in here? There we go. Alright. Well, since I can't seem to brain right now, I'm just gonna throw in a cube, scale it down, and then start messing with it. Are we on individual origins? Okay, we are. Okay, let's go all transforms origin to geometry. Faces among normals. Oh no. Oh no. It's the worst. It's the very, very worst. Oh, you should be in here. Where's this on? There we go. Yeah, let's see. What do I want to do here? Let's make another cut, except this time we're going to go in. We're going to inset very slightly and scale inwards. I'm going to go to this face, inset it, extrude it down. That's probably fine for greeble. Let's actually go, okay. All transforms, we're going to put the origin at the 3D cursor and we're going to scale it down just a bit. Let's move this selection cursor, scale it down just a bit also. What is that, greeble 7? Alright, let's start unwrapping these. In case you're wondering how I am unwrapping these so quickly, this one I'm just going to do unwrap. Actually, let's do this here. I'm just using ZenUV, which is a paid plugin which makes this type of work go very, very fast. It's nothing you can't do by hand, but this just makes it ridiculously quick. So we're going to apply Atlas. We're going to grab all of these. We're going to link these materials all at once. So I'm going to select them all with the one, and I'm going to select the one with the Atlas on it already last. And I'm going to hit Control-L and link materials. Now they've all got that. So I'm going to go here to UV editing. Zoom in here. I'm going to select all. I'm going to scale it down to like 0.01%. So if I wanted, now here's the thing, if I wanted to have this have a gradient across it, all I would do is just use that technique I learned about now. So I'll go here, you project from view, okay, I'm gonna go here, I'm gonna scale it down, I'm gonna go here, and I'm gonna scale it on the Y, and then you'll notice it has a natural gradient already. So that's actually probably what I'm gonna do with all of these. So I'm gonna go here to this one here, go into edit mode, I'm gonna go left, A, you project from view, scale it down, move it over here, scale it up on the Y, and it will also have that kind of natural shading to it, which is awesome. Hey Parallel, how's it going? So let's do the same thing with this orb. I'm just gonna go here, select it, you project from view, go back into edit mode, let's scale it down, G in the Y, let's maybe give this one a little bit more definition. Here we go, it's got more shading there. Go here, left, select all, hit A, you project from view, scale it down, G, and let's put it here, scale Y. There we go. I'm gonna actually move these ones. I'm just gonna move it over so we get a little bit more kind of contrast. There we go. You're just getting that basic, like, this is called a zenithal lighting, right? From the top. Working currently? Gotcha. Zenithal lighting just means light is coming from the zenith, which means at the top. It's top lighting. In mini painting, it's called zenithal. It's a very common practice for highlighting. So that's basically what we're going to do with these. If these were little, if these were little pieces of physical kit, we would be priming them right now. So project from view. I'm going to grab this over to that same one. I'm going to scale it down just a bit more. GY. Whoops, scale Y. And we're just going to get that lighting information essentially for free. We're doing the same thing here. Okay. Over to edit mode. I'm going to hit A to select all. U, project from view. G to move it over to where I want it, and scale it in the Y. Maybe a little bit smaller. Okay. There you go. And I'll show you that this isn't an artifact of the scene lighting, because I can put it in diffuse color only. And you'll see that it still has this gradient applied to it. Okay, here we go. So now, if I put this mode, let's go to layout mode. If I change the lighting mode to, let's take it to material preview. And I go here just to diffuse color. It's only going to show the color of the diffuse map and absolutely nothing else. So you can see it has a gradient applied to it. In fact, what I'm going to do is I'll go here to UV editing, and just to bring the point home, I'll scooch all of these over. There you go. So if I go back to layout, this is diffuse color. There's absolutely nothing happening aside from this. But if I turn the lights back on, combined, and my lights are really bright actually, so let's go to extras. Bring these down in strength. Let's grab this one. Maybe down to like 5,000. Same thing here, 5,000. Do I have a sun in here? Nope, I don't. Alright. There you go. So you can see that you get that shading information essentially for free. It is a nice trick. Hello, Yiggly. Yiggly? I love that name. Yeah. Or maybe there's even a more pronounced way to show it here. Let's go back in UV editing. Let's grab all of these and let's put it in something like something that has a really big transition, like here. See? Actually, you can see it in real time as I move it around. This is what's happening. So we might actually, to fit it with the asset pack as it is already, this might be good. This might be the ideal spot right here. And then if you want it, like if you don't want it to be quite that contrasty, just scale it on the Y. But I'm quite happy with that actually. And this is, so this is with a, this is a 1024 texture. I have learned since that it can be significantly smaller than that without losing any visual fidelity, which is, I think, kind of insane. I think that's kind of nuts, chat. That's kind of crazy. Sorry, I'm answering an important message. And having some coffee. Okay. What? Okay, let's see. What are we gonna do here next? Just make some more greeblies? I think so. This will put us at, what is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 assets, which is more than the 10 we promised. So that's pretty good. Always good to over-deliver a little bit. I think I want to do one more though, chat. Anybody got any ideas for what they want? I think what we can do is for this very last one, we'll, I think maybe the process will be, these weekly booster asset packs I give to patrons, right? People who support me either through YouTube membership or Patreon or whatever. But I think for the very last one of the month, I'll probably give that to, this one could be a public. So it'll be to thank everybody who supports me. Wait, what? Let's see here. Sorry, chat. I am dealing with something via text here. Alright, I finished the YouTube Paint tutorial and then jumped in right back to my low poly character. Did everything except the face. After a bit of struggle, I found out about the quick export feature. YouTube Paint is amazing. With this UV texturing method, how do you go about coloring different parts of the same model? So Dante, what you do is you would just select the faces. Like, let's say, for example, on this one here, I'll go into UV editing mode. Let me select it here. Okay, we'll just focus on it. Alright, so let's say I want only these bits to be a different color, right? Or even a different material. Whichever, but we'll just say for now I only want these bits to be a different color. So I'm going to select them all. If I want to grow this selection, I'll just hit Control and then plus. And then all I got to do is move it to a different color. That's it. Okay. So you just move the faces you have selected around the UV section, and it'll become whatever color you want. So if I want these to be bronze, there you go. They're bronze. Gold. Want them to be some strange purple or green, whichever. So you just select the faces you want and then move them around, the UVs. I did the quick export after painting the eyes, but the eyes were smaller, so is there a way to texture paint the eyes? Well, I mean, you could make the eyes as separate objects and give them their own UVs. That's one option. You could make sure your resolution is higher on that particular layer so that you could paint in the eyes. Yeah, exactly. That's why I unwrapped it. So each face is assignable. Like, you can assign each face a position on the UV map, right? I don't know if you know this, chat, but that's what UVs are. So we have in space, we have our X, Y, and Z coordinates, right? This is, I can't remember which way. I think this is maybe U and this is V. But this is, UV is just another texture, like another coordinate system. It's basically, this is still an X and Y axis, right? But it can't have the same name as XY, so they named it UV. That's all it is. It's just another coordinate system. Yeah. So you'll get UVWs as well, and basically that'll, I think UVW is for UDIMs, where it'll tell you, I could be wrong about this, but basically here's your like UV space, this is your U, and then your V, and then you have a tile, right? So UDIMs use that, and then this would be maybe your W tile. I don't know. I can't remember if that's correct or not. But just another coordinate system, that's all. Just a way to tell stuff where to be. Okay, hold on a second. You're welcome. And UV mapping is literally the mathematical mapping function mapping points to... Yes, exactly. It's actually mapping. More stuff, thank you, you're welcome. Let's see here. See how it looks. Not in cycles. No. Stimmy UV. There we go. Captain's chair, vending machine, TV. Excuse me, some sort of wall thing. I don't really know what this is. A waste bucket. And then a bunch of greeblies. Okay, let's see. Alright, I think it might be time to package these up. So let's hide that. I'm gonna grab these. And then I'm gonna leave it to chat what we cover next. I'm gonna stream for at least another hour, so what do you guys want to see? Is there anything you guys want to see? If I can help you with it, I will do my best to do so. I'm gonna do some maintenance here, file maintenance, while you guys think about it. Oh, this is late. Oh, goodness. That's what happens when you're sick for a couple weeks. There we go. Hello, Dragonbug. How's it going? Extra widgets that you can just plop into other assets can be fun. Yeah. Let's see. So I want to batch export these as OBJ, FBX, and GLB. Alright, Sewell. We'll see you next time. Have a good lunch. Alright. So I think I had mentioned this exporter before. But it's basically, I think it's called batch export, and it does exactly that. So what I'm going to do is I want to make sure that these are not visible, because I'm just going to select all of these. First of all, I'm going to save this blend file, because I'm going to upload it to Patreon. Where is it? Patreon. It's in here. Well, that's not how I do that. There we go. Okay. Let's open this up. Creating a new folder, OBJ. New folder, FBX. I'm aware you can't see what I'm doing, chat. I will be just a second. And GLTF. There we go. Okay. Now all I'm going to do is I'm going to grab these assets. I'm going to go up to this batch export. I'm going to open it up. I'm going to choose the folder I want to put it in, which will be Multimap September 21st Booster Pack. Oops, which file are we at? This is GLTF. Okay, so change the folder to here, GLTF. We're going to accept, and then I just want to make sure all of these settings mesh. This is only to visible, so nothing else will get exported, and then I just click that button. And we get an error. Oh, great. Why are you not exporting? Just make sure I don't have any modifiers on any of these. I will check the log if I get the error again. Ka hate, love you. Oh, that's very sweet. That's very sweet. Thank you. You're pretty nice yourself. Sheesh. Alright, let's try this again. Batch export. Okay, what is the problem? Cannot assign ID proper group value existing hops. Oh, really? Okay, hold on. I think I'll have to turn off hard ops. Preferences, add-ons, hard ops. You can go off. Okay, save preferences. Save. I might need to reload here if it still doesn't want to work. Okay, we're gonna reload it here. Bring Blender back up and see what we get. More furniture assets? Okay. What kind? Do we want like loungy? Alright, now that hops is not enabled, can we batch export these guys? That's the question. No. Ugh. Okay, super batch export. Take me there. Was there an update? I doubt it. Let's see here. Just gonna re-download it. That's fine. Blender super batch export. Yes, good. What was that? Let's get you back over here. We're gonna uninstall this version. Install from disk. Blender add-ons. Super batch export's what we're looking for. There it is. Yep. Getting an error. What is it? Why isn't the export add-on for the format being used enabled? Okay, I may have to do this manually. That's totally fine. Some tables. Man, I just picked up hard ops and all that stuff from the Humble Bundle recently. Haven't played with it yet. I also bought that Humble Bundle. It was a pretty ridiculous deal. I actually already owned several of the things in it, but just to get access to some of the other ones, it was... I mean, it was like, what, 40 bucks, and it was over $1,000 worth of stuff. It was really, really, really good. Okay. Save that there. Alright, let's see if this wants to behave now. Batch export. No, it does not. I'll print through this. Okay, that's fine. We'll figure that out later. Every time I try and do this... Oh, I know. Okay, maybe part of the problem is that these aren't at the origin. That shouldn't really matter. They're all visible, all rendered. There shouldn't be any issues with that. Okay, whatever. Fine. That fluids one looks really fun. Can't wait to burn out another GPU. Oh, man. Okay. I'm gonna have to batch export these later, chat. That's totally fine. But let's, start a new file. Screencast eases on, that's good. Blender's gonna have a little spaz for a minute. Let's just add in a cube to begin with. And do that. We're gonna assign a material to it. We're gonna call it Atlas. We're gonna use the same Atlas, so we'll go to change this to an image texture. We'll open the image texture. There we go. And now we can assign that material to anything we make. So, some tables. Alright. Let's see here. You know what I don't have as a reference here, though? Import. Let's do an FBX. FBX, I want the floor medbay. Medbay. Here we go. Open that. There we go. Now I have my scale reference. I'm going to remove that and assign it Atlas. There we go. Now the wall is roughly the same size as this block, so I'm not going to worry about that too much. This will give me a sense of scale. Don't need to import the wall. Or should I? Maybe I should actually. Let's just do that quickly. File, import, FBX. Wall. Just a regular wall. Gray. There we go. Let's remove that. Let's add Atlas. Scooch it up. Remove that. There we go. And we'll just slide that back to about there so we have a sense of what we want to do. A Minecraft torch? Hello, David J. Thank you for subscribing to the channel and hanging out. Alright, let's see. Kind of table. I'm gonna actually remove that just for right now so that I can see what I'm doing. No, the color... Oh, it looks like a Minecraft torch. Yeah, it did, actually. It really did. It's very, very blocky. Let's see. You know what? Let's not do a cube for this. Let's actually just move this cube over for the time being. I'm going to add a... I just want like an octagon. We're going to go with this cylinder. Let's go open this up, and we're just going to put it at 8. And then I'm just going to scale it on the Z. Something like that. That's fine like that. Hey Bolt, hope you're having a good one. Been lurking for a bit, currently working on an animation of my chonky frog. I love that frog. I love that frog, Joshua. It's so cute. It's so cute, and you did such a good job. I hope you're having a good day too, and I'm excited to see more of your frog. SciFi scanner looking at an alien artifact. Okay. That's an interesting idea. Chevrock, hey, haven't seen anything from you in forever. Glad you're still making content. I have to leave, but keep doing what you're doing. It's great to see you doing your thing. Thanks, Chevrock. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. I will keep doing my thing. I got a new video in the works for low poly assets and gradient texturing, so that's coming up. But thank you. Thank you very much. All right, let's see. Let's do this here. Let's just go there. Whoopsies. Scale it down. Go all the way down. S. Did I double extrude that? Nope. Okay. Boom. Table. Easy peasy. Now what I could have done actually is inset that which I actually probably will do, just so that we don't have that weird piece of geometry there. Let's just go here and we're going to inset this, and then that's what we'll extrude down. There, that's one single piece of geometry, and I can delete the bottom face. Just save this file. Poly assets, October. Desert rain frogs are very cute and have tons of character. They do. They look so grumpy. It looks disgruntled. Let's see. Alright, we can apply this. I'm just gonna use this to unwrap it super quick. Shade auto smooth, or just see what we get here. It's fine. I'd like to mark this as sharp. Mark sharp. Okay. Let's also just give it a little bit more character here. There we go. Let's just re-unwrap it. Good. Let's go back here. Let's apply Atlas to it. I'm going to go to UV editing. And now that I know this technique, I mean, I'm going to use it all the time. Or just why wouldn't I? I'm going to go here, select all, project from view. I'm going to scale it down. Let's zoom in. Let's pick a color here. I think probably gray for the bottom. So if I want just the bottom half, I'm going to turn on X-ray and grab just the bottom half. Scale it in the Y. It's probably going to be really, really dark, which isn't quite what I want, so maybe something like that. I can actually see it if I go to Material Preview. What I can actually do is I can rotate this 180 if my fingers would work. And scale it in the Y. You can kind of make it look like ambient occlusion from there. And then here, let's make this a, I don't know, red top. What do we want? Let's make it blue. Something like that. And then if we need to, at any point, really, let's turn off X-ray. If I want to, like, let's say, for example, I want to make these just a little bit darker, then all I need to do is just move them down a little bit on the Y. So I have total control over the lighting this way, which is awesome. Let's just do that to give it a little more contrast. We can actually go here. Let's turn this on. Let's grab this sharp and bevel it. And then I'm going to take those and move them down also. Just going to make sure I'm on island mode here. Shrink it, and then I'll just give it a little bit. That's way too dark. Let's give it a little bit of additional character here. Do the same thing here. I'm going to split this, bevel it. Move it down, make sure I'm on island mode. There we go. Just a little bit of detail for free, essentially. Okay, let's go back to layout. Do small octagon table. Rotate the table 22.5 degrees. Yeah, you want it flush here. I also did that with every other 8-sided object. That's a really cool way of applying gradient to the models. I'll have to make note of that. It's yeah, it's a technique I was starting to fiddle with, and then I found an article by somebody who blew my mind with it. So I'm making a video about it, and yeah, stay tuned for that because it's pretty nuts. Alright, this I'm going to go now to origin to 3D cursor. We'll just save that there. This cube I'm going to get rid of. Let's just slide this over, and I think what I'm going to do is now make that scanner. AGZ1, let's go back over here, scale it down. Probably about that big. Let's go here. Let's shift E and a Z. Let's do another one. And this one I'm gonna grab here. Maybe in the X, so I get something like that. Let's just grab this. Let's scale it up a bit. Shift so it lines up. Let me scale it in the Y. Let's isolate it. Let's see. Let's grab this and this. Hide those because I want to grab these two faces. There we go. Alt H. Okay. Let's click off. Grab this. GX. Move it in a little bit. X. Okay. Select it again. I'm just going to bevel that. I'm going to bevel these faces also first. Let's go all transforms origin to geometry so we don't get any weird bevel artifacts. Something like that. I want these to be longer. So I'm going to go into X-ray mode, select the vertices, and grab them and move them on the X. There we go. Let's also just add in another cube here quickly. Scale it down. Scale it in the Y. Let's see where we're at here. Good. Let's see. Grab this here. All transforms, origin to geometry. I want to grab this top face, and I want to bevel it just a bit. Let's also go here, take out the bottom face. Do the same thing on this. There we go. Let's also make sure that these are aligned. Let's grab both of these and isolate them so I can see what's happening. There we go. You can unisolate them. Turn off X-ray. Go to material preview mode. I'm going to scale this in the Y. I think we're going to scale it in the X a little bit. I don't want it to be quite that wide at the bottom though, so I'm going to grab this. Let's scale it down. Let's see. Scale X. Let's grab these. Let's scale it in the Y. Where am I? There we go. Alright. Here we go. Let's catch up on chat here. Ika, hello, sorry if I sound disrespectful, but are you a Zelda rupee? That's not disrespectful at all. And I am a giant sentient Zelda rupee. You are correct. Originally, I was just a monolith, but over time, the community has decided that I am a giant sentient rupee. Yes. To answer your question, yes. And hello. All it takes is one bevel to make Molten a Zelda rupee. True. It's true. It doesn't take much. Alright, let's go here. I think I would rather have this face be down here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to isolate this also. And just to make sure I have this in exactly the right spot, I'll turn on X-ray. I'm going to scale these by 0 on the Z, and it's going to set them all to the exact same position. So all of these vertices on the bottom are in the exact same position now. I don't have to worry about it being wonky in any way. Alright, now what we can do is we can join these together. I'm just going to unwrap those. What's my unwrap angle here? Let's make it like 35. Make it 25. That's odd. That's very odd. I'm just gonna grab these. Mark seam. Alt U to unwrap it. And we're going to give it Atlas as a material. So we're going to do the same thing we have been doing. Instead of scaling it down infinitely, though, we're just going to go here. I'm going to hit A to select all. I'm going to hit U to project from view. And then we're going to scale it down. We're going to pick a color. I think probably somewhere in here. I really, really like this color for the SciFi asset pack. I don't know why. I just really do. Go. Actually, I'd like to make this some sort of a little bit more of a techie color. So I want to find something kind of desaturated, but viable. Gonna look kind of like a lab equipment. It might be time to make another gradient Atlas, chat. Just gonna scale that down in the Y. I want a gradient, but not quite that much of a gradient. It's alright. Ooh, also, you know what I need to do? I forgot. So crank the roughness on that channel. There we go. That looks better. I think actually this one, just gonna grab these. Make sure X-ray's on. It is, okay. Grab these. And I want to make it just a little bit more of a pronounced kind of color. Because it's not very interesting where it is. That's better. Okay, there we go. Another thing, just very quickly, while I'm on the subject, is I'm going to grab these. And if I scale these up just a bit, I can get even more more shading built in there. Basically for free. Sweet. Okay. Zelda Rupee, it does remind me of the first Starbound boss. Exactly like you with the eye and everything, just pink. Make an asset inspired by the chemistry lab from Astroneer. Chemistry lab. I was just playing Astroneer. Yeah, I might do that. Let's go. This is what? Scanner? Don't know why my caps lock is on. Okay. And what I didn't bring into this is the hologram material, but that's alright. What I'm gonna do here is this is gonna be pretty straightforward. Z, RZ 45, RY 45. I'm gonna duplicate that. RZ 180. Okay. We're going to let's do this here. Okay, all transforms, origin to geometry. All transforms, origin to geometry. We're going to add a boolean to this. Boolean, and we're going to intersect them and see what we get. Let's apply that. Delete that. And now we've got this crazy shape. Has n-gons in it, but I don't particularly care. It really doesn't matter for our purposes. Let's go here. I'm just going to unwrap just these. we go. Go to UV editing and these. Go to the front view. If I grab, let's make sure we can see through. Okay, so there we go. Project from view. Scale it down. Go here, scale it in the Y. There we go. Although I think actually it would be better off somewhere like here. Excuse me. Yeah, something like that. So let's go to this thing. I'm gonna need to make this material essentially anyway. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go here. I'm gonna duplicate Atlas. I'm gonna call it Atlas Metallic. Is there already one in here? There is. That one is no bueno though, so let's add a new slot. There we go. Just gonna go into my blend file here, get rid of the other materials that were borked. So this, and this. Oops, and this. We can delete those. Don't need them. Okay. So this one, just bring up the metallic, bring the roughness down, somewhere around what there. We can now name this Atlas Metallic, save the file. Go to this object. Again, I'm going to make sure I can see through. I'm just going to assign this. Let's add a new, put the regular Atlas on there and assign it. Now this should be metallic looking and this should not, which is perfect. So let's just grab this. I'm going to assign that Atlas as well. I'm going to go here. I only want to grab these connected items here. You project from view, scale it down, let's move it over here and scale it in the Y, so we get a little bit of visual interest here. How's that looking? The stream suggested me from YouTube for the first time. I'm struggle with sub D hard surface modeling every time clients tell me I'm not precise. Wish your channel helped me to improve. I might at some point cover hard surface modeling, but given that I don't do a lot of advanced hard surface modeling, it's probably not going to be on my channel soon. But Sewell just gave you the same recommendation I would, which is Josh Gambrell. There's also PZ3. Another channel. Here you go. I'll type it in. PZ3. They also do amazing hard surface content. Very, very good. They use add-ons and it makes me discouraged to watch. Yes, they do use add-ons. There's also what is his name? I can't remember. But if you're having problems with sub D hard surface modeling, you just need to practice the fundamentals of topology. That's all. You just need to know, yeah, I don't know what else to say. It just takes practice. He does have a few add-on free ones. Yes, he does. What is it? Decoded 3D? Is it Decoded 3D? Let me check chat. There's another channel that that has very good tips on, it is Decoded 3D. Okay. At Decoded VFX. Just search Decoded on YouTube. Has very good instructional videos on topology. And if you're having issues with hard surface, it's because your topology isn't good. Hello, Nexus. How's it going? Alright, I could, do I just import the material? Yeah, probably. Let's append. From here, materials. Follow. Okay, so now what I want to do is I want to add in a cylinder. This is going to be, let's make it probably 16 for this one. Scale it down, isolate it, grab both sides, delete the faces. What's up, Scribbler Jones? Thank you for subscribing to the channel. Could join the Blender community Discord. Tons of people willing to help give tips. Yes, for sure. Yep. It's a good resource. GX. Right, let's apply Atlas Hollow to this. Now, unable to pack source file. Would you piss off? Why are you set to pack automatically? So, goodness gracious. Right. Now, I believe, do I have this set up correctly? That's the question. Go to shading, go to Atlas Hollow. Yes, I do. I don't think I need that one there at all, do I? No. Need that there. Save. Back to layout. Not sure how this got assigned to that. By material. Select length. Select linked. And we're going to assign that to just Atlas. There we go. Go to Atlas Hollow. I think I want its transmission to be, like, I want it to be much less pronounced in this case. I also would like it to be what's going on here? Have I set the emissive color? Why are you remaining to be purple? Oh, that's why. You need to be this one. There we go. Still much to... Okay, let's put that back at 8. I may actually... I don't know if I want to keep that like that or change it to glass, but we'll see. Okay, all transforms. Origin to 3D cursor. Fat fingers. I got fat fingers. Ooh, let me catch up here. You can post screenshots of what you're working on and ask how to improve, and you get a lot of suggestions. It's good. Morning shift and sleep 5 hours, then night shift begins. What are you modeling? Any ref? No reference. I'm freewheeling it here. I am modeling just low poly sci-fi assets, basically. I'm just flexing my brain. I mean, not terribly much right now because these are very, very, very simple, but that is the idea anyway. Let's extrude that in the X. select linked. Scale it, Shift X. There we go. Control I hide because I want to get rid of that face. Alt hide. There we go. Just gonna grab this, scale it down, move it in the X. Grab this, bevel it. There we go. Let's give it some buttons. Mesh cylinder. Okay, let's isolate the cylinder, delete the inside face, go back out. Like that. Let's grab these. Linked, linked. Nope. Linked, linked. These ones we can scale down. Let's use, what did I do here? Shut off X-ray, linked, scale. These ones I just want to basically be a solid color. Let's grab this. Now I need to bring in an emissive one. So let's file append the emissive material. Emissive, there we go. We're gonna go here. Here, add a new one. Let's choose Atlas emissive, and then we're gonna grab that face and these. And we're going to assign. There we go. I just want this one here to be green. There we go. Now it's on brand for the rest of the pack. It's also RZ90. All transforms. Origin to geometry. Cursor to world origin. Let's put this at origin to geometry. Now move this. So there we go. And origin to 3D cursor. Okay. That asset is now complete. There we go. Time to stand up. Let me get caught up on chat. Stand up and stretch. Let's see. No ref nexus. No, just messing around. Add some tubes going from the base to the top. Okay, I can do that. I guess should have to ask to help there too, but it took a long time to find an exact answer. But yeah, it's a great community. It is a great community. Alpha always looks grainy on Blender. Well, yeah, that makes sense. I'm using ray tracing in Eevee, so it's gonna look grainy unless I actually render it. 3D noise is confusing. Yeah, it is. But like, even if I run it through cycles, like, it's not gonna look amazing. This is the kind of thing I would. Oh, the heck is going on here? This is the kind of thing I would probably end up tweaking in Unreal Engine to get a shader that actually looks decent. Doesn't look that bad. Like, once it settles down, it's fine. If I were to turn up my samples, it would probably look better. If I put it to 512. But I'm not that concerned about it right now. Lurking a bit to grab some breakfast burritos. Back soon. Sounds good. Well, how did you do that? No longer grainy cycles. Yeah, I just switched it to cycles. So I'm just holding down Z. I don't know if this is I think this might actually be from Ran Tools. The ability to switch between cycles and Eevee. So it might be from an add-on, but basically that's all I did. I just went up to render engine, cycles, and then zoomed in. Easy peasy. Alright, so I'm gonna add these to the actual batch export for the last asset pack. And then I'll upload that and but need a camera in the scene for cycles? No, you don't. Not at all. This is just the viewport. Like if I go to the camera, this is what the camera sees. Cycles, this is just my viewport. Right? That's all it is. If I go to the camera, this is what the camera sees. I can switch it to render region here if you want. It'll only show what the camera sees. Thank you for the teaching. You're very welcome. I know it's confusing. It can be very, very confusing at first. In fact, I've been using Blender for probably what, maybe 5 years now, 5 or 6, I can't remember. And sometimes it's still confusing. So, you know, it's all good. Shut those off. There you go. Save. All right, so I'm gonna have to figure out why my batch exporter isn't working. I'll update it. It was working. Last check. But basically what I'll do is I'll this last asset pack is going to be the freebie for the month, I think, for everybody. Can you make a living for being an independent game asset artist? As someone looking to enter the industry, what can you tell for you and other newbies? You have to be good. Not only that, not only do you have to be good, but you have to be good at marketing yourself, because the market is super, super saturated. So there's lots and lots of competition. Like a lot of competition. So, I mean, is it possible to... I don't know. I don't think making money... Like, I don't think you can make a living doing only... game assets. I don't think so. I'm speaking from experience here, by the way. I don't think it's possible. I think you need multiple kind of streams of revenue in order to make a living from it. I have my fingers in a lot of different pies, and I'm still, like, I still have to do a lot of other work. So. Just from making assets? No, I don't think you can. Unless you're, like, world-class good. There's just too much competition. But as a way to make money, absolutely. You can definitely earn income from it. I just don't know if you could make a living off of it alone. Yeah. Kind of want to... Okay, I think the last thing I'm going to make for this stream, chat... How do I want to do this? Okay, let's add in... Actually, let's do this. Let's add in a plane. Something like that. Switch it over here. There. Is Blender enough for texturing, or do you think it worth to invest in additional software? It really depends what kind of texturing you want to do, Deveros. because yeah, it depends. You can, there are some good free options available. Like you can actually do a lot of texturing, a lot of the texturing solutions just with YouTube Paint, which is the free add-on by YouTube Umar. You can do like texture mapping and PBR and all kinds of stuff. You can do everything from hand painting to full like hyperreal PBR with YouTube Paint. The only problem is that Blender is really bad at baking from one object to another. So let's say you have a high poly version of something and a low poly version of something. It's not very good at baking from the high poly to the low, unless that object is like has a multi-resolution modifier. Unless, for example, you sculpted it with a multi-resolution modifier. It's complicated to explain, but basically, as long as Blender is baking an object to itself, it's fine. But if it has to project the bake from one object to a completely separate object, it's absolute garbage. At least through everything I've tried, and I've tried a lot, so. But if you want like a texturing suite that's free, you could try Instamat. And what about Substance Painter? I'm gonna say it again, Substance Painter is like, I'm not a huge fan of Adobe, obviously. If you're gonna get Substance Painter, buy it on Steam, do not pay monthly for it. But Substance Painter is still the Cadillac of texturing software. It's still the best software. That's all there is to it. It is without a doubt still leading in terms of texturing capability. No doubt. But just don't pay bounty for it. Just buy it outright if you can. I'm glad Substance can still be owned permanently for sure. Like it's it's insane how much that costs. Substance Painter's your hell. Thanks to you, I learned to use YouTube Paint, to draw on Blender, and it's the best you could ever find or happen to me. And thanks to you. It's thanks to me and to YouTube Umar, because YouTube Paint, I didn't make YouTube Paint, I just help show people how to use it. And YouTube Umar puts a ton of work into making it as amazing as it is. What the heck did I do here? Grab this face. I suppose I could have done this with one single thing, couldn't I? Yeah, that would probably be smarter. This. Let's just stay right here, actually. Let's grab this. We don't want it to move in the Y, so we'll put that right there. G-shift Y. G-shift Y. G-shift Y to constrain it. There we go. Straight on. Let's grab all of those. X. Let's scooch it in. G-shift Y. Let's just bring it to like there. And same thing with this one. G-shift Y. If you hadn't shown, you would never found out about it. I'm too humble. No, no, no. I didn't make the program. The person who made it deserves that credit. Please type name here, Yuki, the add-on I'm talking about. YouTube Paint. Yeah, YouTube Paint. It's the best. It is one of the best things that exists within Blender, which is saying something, frankly. Alright, let's apply that modifier. Go here, Control R. Scale this out a little bit, just a bit. Okay, I'm gonna join these. Actually, you know what I'm gonna do? Just quickly. I'm gonna select that face and that face and delete them because we don't need them. Now we can join these together. Control J. And we got loungers. Just gonna go here, unwrap it quick. We will apply Atlas to it. In this case, I think only the bottom ones will be projected from view. So let's grab that, scale that. Control I. Project from view. I'm gonna grab both of these, scale them down. Something like that. Nice. And then these. Let's just make it like that. Actually, let's project that one from view too. We might as well, right? Let's do it from the right. Make sure only the parts we want selected are there. Okay, now we can project from view. And then if I move over here, be able to see that we can get the same kind of effect. Let's rotate this 180 degrees. Scale it down in the Y so we get less of a gradient. Something like that. Actually better the other way around. There we go. I think what I'd like to do though here is just got a bit skinnier. Just to make it match the other one a little bit better. Let's also grab this edge here. Front and move it up. Okay, lounger. Let's make sure you're positioned on the ground correctly, which it is. We're going to put that origin to the 3D cursor to the world origin, and then we're going to set its origin to the 3D cursor, and now it should be good to go. Now this scanner is ludicrously huge, or this chair is very small, so I think it's actually this chair. This table's too big, first of all, and this scanner needs to be significantly smaller. GX. Good stuff. It can bake high poly to low poly too. YouTube Paint? YouTube Paint can't do anything that Blender can't do. It can save, like, you can bake out your textures from it, but it can't bake from one object to another. Is a free add-on? Yeah, it's in extensions. It is a free add-on. Yeah. You can get it in extensions now, which is pretty sweet. Which is pretty sweet. Okay, so I am not going to go through these and export them one by one on stream because that would be mind-blisteringly boring for everyone in chat. That would be sad. Would be sad. Time to stand up and stretch. I must go. Thank you so much for everything. Have a lovely night. You too, Yuki. Thank you for coming to hang out. It was great to chat with you. I hope you have a great night. So yeah, I'm pretty excited, chat. I'm excited to get that next to get working on that next video. Let me see. I'm just gonna check my schedule quickly to see if we have any conflicts for Thursday. I don't think so. I should be back to stream on Thursday. If someone already have Substance Painter, then is it still worth to learn YouTube Paint? Well, here's the thing. Here's the thing about YouTube Paint. It's very similar to Substance Painter. So if you know what you're doing in Substance Painter, you'll already have a handle on how YouTube Paint works. Because you'll know about how to use layers, how to use masks, how to use procedural things. So, thank you for everything you do, Multiple. Genuinely, you're very welcome. You are genuinely welcome, Jad. Thank you very much. It's my pleasure. It really is. Excuse me. I know there hasn't been a whole lot of content on my channel lately, and the streams have been intermittent. Like I said in the Discord, there were some health concerns for a bit, but I'm feeling much, much, much better now. And also, there were some issues with work and freelance. It's just, I'm gonna level with you, chat. It's been a rough couple weeks. But I'm feeling better. Things are all right now, and I'll get back to making some content for everybody. And yeah, things are looking up, which is great. But I think with that, I'm gonna wrap up today's stream. Next stream, we might do low poly assets. Starting with the starting to cover that new technique because it's really, really cool. But I also am interested in trying out some new things on the stream. Like, careful no burning out. Agreed. Well, that's why I took so much time off. That's exactly why I took so much time off. It was just so that I wouldn't overstress and spoil things for myself. Life will go great, you do good, and good will always return to you. That's very sweet, Yuki. Thank you. I have faith it'll turn out alright. But yeah. So like I was saying, there are some things I would like to fiddle around with. I might fiddle around with geometry nodes, for example, because the idea of learning visual scripting is starting to appeal to me more and more. But we'll check in with chat with everybody during next stream, and we'll see what the consensus is. We could do some sculpting or hand painting or whatever you want to see. Let's play it by ear next time. We'll play it by whatever chat wants to see. Thanks for a chill stream. Glad to hear things are on the upswing. Me too, man. Thanks. You may fall now, but not forever. Aw. Take some rest if needed. Thanks for the stream. My pleasure. Thank you for coming to hang out. I know some basics. I can make garments from the assets. Someone to help me improve. I like to work for them. For free, I'm looking for a way to improve these days, but it's so hard to get a proper guide. Yeah, it is hard to get a proper guide. There are some situations where you simply need to pay for a course. Sometimes there just aren't free, like there's no free tuition on the subject, so you need to pay for it. I tried learning YouTube Paint from your tutorial, but it's still a little confusing. If you're not familiar with layer-based texturing, it's going to be confusing. Like, it's a lot. I did my best. It depends which tutorial. Which tutorial you're talking about, Centripetal? The one with the Volt Orb, or the later one with the radiation canister? Yeah, it depends. I mean, it is confusing. You need to learn about layers, and then you need to learn about masks, and then you need to learn about, like, if you're using anything procedural, how that works, and how you can manipulate all of the things. Like, it's a lot. It's a lot to learn, for sure. You looked at the first one? Yeah, I recommend checking out the second one. It's called, hold on. Let me check my channel. The heck did I call it? It is here. Let me just share the link. Get shareable link. Yeah. You can check that one out. Honestly, learned even how to do layers from YouTube Paint tutorial. Even now, managing to do the eyes. Amazing. That's great to hear. All right. That's gonna be it for me today, chat. As far as I'm aware, I should be back Thursday morning to stream. I will keep you posted in the Discord. If you're not in the Discord, join the Discord. The link is in the description. There's a great community there of most of the people that hang out in the stream and a bunch of other people. And we're always willing to help each other with Blender and 3D art and just creative stuff in general. So feel free to stop by there. Should be back, like I said, Thursday morning, 10 o'clock Central Standard Time, 10 a.m. Central Standard Time. And I look forward to seeing everybody then. All right, everybody. I hope you have a great couple of days in between now and then. And we'll see you then.